What's up, FloCombat? It's your man Dwayne Finley, old Bo, and it's getting hot in here, man. It's like there's some hot sauce in Glendale. What's up, Scotty? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Dude, you're way better looking in person than your Instagram, than your profile pics. Like Lego.
I think you're used to looking at fighters all day.
I know, man. Like I said, you know how they're saying oh, that girl's good looking, but she's good looking for a fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like on a regular, It's been too long, Scott. I've been on the road too long.
Right.
But we're here at the lab. This is your home. You're getting ready to get back in there. So what brought you to the lab initially?
Yeah, initially it's a funny story. I fought on a card. My very first pro fight was with the XFC. I fought on the card with Jamie Varner. He was the headliner. He was fighting Drew Fickett. And
wow.
Yeah,
that's some Arizona legends right there, huh?
I know, man. And there are a whole bunch of other stories within that I'll go into maybe later if we have time. But so we cut weight together, and he invited me out to train with him. So after the fight, I went out and stayed on Jamie's couch for a week, and he told me about this place. He cross trains here and things like that. So we never ended up being able to come over here and see it, but they put some social media out after that saying you could come. They had a little house you could live in. So I came here and did that, stayed for a week before one of my fights, and ended up staying for the whole camp, like 7 weeks. I lost my job at home and everything. Had some clients I was training. I was like, hey, you got to find another training. I'm not coming back. I'm sorry. So lived in the fighter house, which was probably at that time maybe slightly worse than the tough house.
Oh, wow.
Just no cameras, so.
But craziness and drama, it was up there.
Yeah, everything, just craziness, drama. Nobody to clean up after certain guys. Little fights after hours, things like that. So.
No, you don't have to name names, but are these any guys that eventually went on to like be people would know, or are these guys that just kind of fizzled out?
Yeah, you're gonna know. You'll know a couple of these guys. One of them's in the UFC now. Just fought not too long ago, but yeah, I can't name any names.
I know. Now I'm curious.
But, man, that's a whole other set of stories that we could go on for hours on, but we don't have enough time on this small camera.
That's right. So let me bookmark that. But we'll circle back later for our own docu-series on Drew Fickett and Jamie Varner stories, and then Lab Fighter House. So that'll be its own series. But so yeah, man. But this is a whole different world than Tennessee, man. So how long did it take you to adapt to Arizona living?
Oh man, it just depends what season it is, man. Summer, I think maybe the first time I came out it was summer, and it was 115 degrees out for the entire week. And people want to argue, especially when I go home. They say, "Oh, there's no humidity. It's not bad at all."
Oh yeah, dry heat versus that's BS,
shit.
right?
You come out here and sit in 115 degree heat, and then have Benson Henderson riding you out in wrestling practice and tell me how you like it. 115 degrees is 115 degrees. I don't care.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've always heard about the way Benson and Coach run the lab is the team environment is every man helps the next man. So if you, it doesn't matter if you're a champion or an up and comer, if that guy helped you for your camp, then as soon as after your fight, as soon as you're healthy again, you're right back in here helping, right?
Yeah, that's how it goes, man. And I'm a little bit different. My situation's unique, and I like to think that over the years I've put in my time and kind of earned my points. So he'll let me go home after camps, and I'll stay home for a month or two and kind of tend to business at home and rest a little bit. But all the guys are right back in the gym helping amateurs, whoever needs a round. Sometimes guys go down in rounds, and you end up back in there for a round. I know. There's been a few camps where I'll do 3 out of 5 Benson's rounds, and then he'll drop somebody in the middle round, and I'll go in again. So I'll do 4 out of 5 Benson's rounds.
You're like, stay on your feet.
Yeah, I'm like, get your ass up right now, man. I'm not doing 4 rounds. But so yeah, like I said, a lot more stories there too. But.
So you got something coming up, right?
Yeah.
They'll talk about it. What's on deck? When are we gonna see Hot Sauce back in the action?
Yeah, April 22nd in the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. If you've never been to Nashville, man, you need to go.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's an awesome place. Another story about that. Last time in Nashville, man, I'm just getting all the stories out.
I love it, man. That's what it's for.
I feel like FloCombat is where you tell all the stories that you don't get time to normally.
That's what so your read is correct, and you have all the time you want here.
Yeah, well, we ended up, I don't know how the night it started getting late, and we were celebrating a big win there, my debut in the UFC, and we ended up at this after hours VIP only club, and Justin Timberlake was in there doing a private concert, but he was playing the drums and his buddy was singing and playing the guitar. So that was, you never know who you're going to see in Nashville as far as stars go like that, but I was like, all right, here's my chance. I'm going to get a pic of Justin Timberlake. So I get my phone out, I get ready, I look around, I get my phone about right here, and the bouncers hit me and tackle me, and I ended up with a pic of the ceiling. So that was it, and it was a black picture, but I almost had Justin Timberlake in a pic.
Dude, we follow each other on Instagram, so you see, Bo, I'm like that too. Like, hey, if I see a DiCaprio, I'm getting him. If I see Ric Flair, I'm getting him.
That'd be good.
Yeah, well, dude, actually, it wasn't. He was a prick. He was an absolute prick, man. Like, I was so disappointed, and it was funny because it was either like, okay, Timberlake's playing drums, you're like, okay, then that's the chance, you got to go for it. But like, I just got from playing in Albuquerque, and he was just sitting at the bar, and him and somebody else, and they weren't doing anything. They were just kind of watching a football game, and we were shooting the shit across the way, and I waited till he was away from the bar, so like, because I know some people are kind of conscious about that.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, I'll take the pic. And then my buddy saw it was Ric Flair and saw me get a pic, so he come running up, and like Ric Flair saw me, was like, guys, just let me get back to. He's like, let me get back to what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I was like, whoa, like there's nobody around.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that. But you know what? I want to add that about Nashville is like, I think a lot of people get the misconception that like, oh, Nashville country music, so if I don't like country, I won't like Nashville. That is a complete misconception. Yes, there's a lot of country music. I mean, there's a business there, but it is so much more than country music.
Yeah, for sure, man. There's you can find anything you want there, really, and just like Bridgestone, they have NHL, they have NFL. They have minor league baseball. I mean, there's always something going on there, man. And the live music starts at 10 a.m. and goes all night. So
any place you can hear, like, I don't care, any place in this country you can hear live music at 10 a.m., which means that you can get some day drinking in.
Yep.
So, and I'm telling you, underrated barbecue scene there in Nashville. There's some good barbecue.
Yep.
And it's Broadway, right? Like, Broadway's the big street?
Yeah, Broadway's the main drag, and then there's 2nd Ave. There's stuff all around there, man. So anything you want to do, I suggest, if you want to see your first UFC fight or just a fight in general, Nashville's the spot, man. And you best believe I'm gonna light that place up, baby.
Yeah,
April 22nd.
They love some Scotty Holtzman there. I was at your first one, and I'm damn sure be there for this one. But I also want to talk about, because it's FloCombat. We stream like your roots. Valor Fights is Tennessee staple. They run Tennessee, and now Valor's spreading out to kind of get. I heard they're going to move into the Carolinas here. They just own that kind of southeast region. So as a fighter from that region, what's it like for you to see Valor and these people that you're very close to, growing and kicking ass?
Oh, it's great, man. Like I said, it was a slightly different name when I first started, but Tim Loy's always been the guy behind the scenes, kind of pulling the strings and things like that. So for them to build up and for you guys to give them a platform to play all those fights is awesome. And there are even some guys back there that were kicking around on the amateur show when I was. So it's funny to watch those guys still. I'll be in Arizona watching it on the laptop. And of course, my boys now, Dylan Kalla, Dahmer, the Bosnian Barn Cat.
Oh man, Furhat Begovic, right?
Yeah, Furhat Bagels. That's what his
Furhat Bagels. I'll tell you what, and those two guys especially, Dylan and Demur. I remember when I the first Valor show we did on Flow was in Knoxville.
Yep.
I saw you in Knoxville, and you said, man, you gotta talk to this kid. And then after I talked to Demur, you're like, hey, I got another kid you gotta talk to, which was Dylan. And I'm telling you, this guy at UFC, once he's done winning titles and doing all that, this guy's got an eye for talent, man. Because both of those kids are killers, and they have a hard ass time finding fights for him. And that's what I want to say this about the job that Tim does at Valor. The thing I love about it is you go to regional shows. Anywhere else, man, you find a lot of mismatches, right? You find a lot of guys they're trying to put over. Tim doesn't do that. I mean, like, look at that Wheeler kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could have pushed that kid, and then he got exposed, and then Tim gave him another hard fight, and you found out the kid can't stop a submission, you know what I mean?
No.
So he's not going to go far. But then you got kids like Dylan Calla came. Your boy came from USFFC, and now he's fighting on Valor 41 in a tough fight and a feature fight. And Tim went out of his way to get him. So, we're happy to keep Dylan on FloCombat.
Yeah. No, Dylan, I just finished up a 2-week stint there at Jim O, Uncle Jeff's gym with Dylan. And, man, he was getting after me. So
dude,
he's tough, man.
That kid's, and he's fired up
tough.
now. Yep.
Yeah, he's pissed off, and he wants it, too, which is something you see in this game a lot. We have guys in here that, they're more talented than a lot of guys, but they just don't want it. They don't want to show up. So when you get a guy like that, when you get that mix of drive and ambition with talent and toughness and any other adjective you want, it's special, man. So you're gonna have to keep your eye on him too.
Well, we've been preaching it. Hunter and I have been preaching it. We put his name out there as much as we can. And what I loved about it, Scotty, is his last fight. He was in some bad positions, and then and a lot of times at this age, at this level, when a guy's 3-1, 4-1, has less than 10 fights, they're easy. Well, they're easy when they're the hammer, but when they're the nail, they usually can't handle it. Dylan had poise of a veteran. He was in some bad spots. He didn't panic. He rolled out of them. The kid's scrambles are sick, man.
Yeah. No, he's got some good wrestling pedigree. Some people don't know about, but he's got some good funky scrambles, and I think that's one of his strong points. Those scrambles like that, he'll catch submissions in those scrambles, and is coming along on the feet too. So, like I said, he got after me some, man. It wasn't all it wasn't all enjoyable training. He's tough, and and then switching gears to Dahmer too. He's a big 55, and when I first started, we started a place called Premier Martial Arts. He was in the kids' karate classes. He was 12 years old, and we were all training MMA. So he's been with me since the very beginning, and he's a hammer too.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing about Dylan is I'm glad he cut that damn hair and quit looking like such a damn hippie. Now he's presentable. But one thing we got to ask you, man, like we've been asking all the fighters on this road trip, when it comes to in the cage, we've all seen, what Scott Holtzman can do, but every fighter starts somewhere, man. What's a good hot sauce, street fight story?
Ooh, oh man, a street fight story. Yeah, I've got a big scar on the back of my head. It's a V. It's a V-shaped thing where, to make the story short, I was in a fight on New Year's Eve. Me and my friend, we were severely outnumbered down on University of Tennessee campus. Backing up again, I came up on the UT bar circuit.
Okay.
60-0-4. So got my start there. I was the champ there for 3 years running. But anyway, New Year's Eve, I got cracked in the back of the head with a champagne bottle, laid me open for 10 staples in the back of my head.
Wow.
So I was ended up in a street fight with another guy or two guys. The guy hit me, and I just throw the guy down and turn, and the guy takes off running through the house. So I'm chasing through the house. I'm like, no, I'm getting him for that. He's not getting that. That shit hurt. So I'm running after him. He runs and dives off the back porch. So I'm like, oh, I'm going after him for sure. I'm going to catch him. So I run and I look off the edge of the porch, and it's like a 15-foot drop. This dude hits, and he's like, oh, and he's laying there, and it's like, looks broken. I'm like, never mind, man.
Yeah,
you can have it. You're good. And he stumbles off, and he got away, man. So it pissed me off, but that's probably the most memorable story. I still have the scar to prove it back here. It's in there somewhere.
Let's see. Yeah, sure enough.
Hold on, let's get in on that for the
You see it good
make
enough?
it the real thing.
Yeah, he's got some hair on it. It's right there. So.
Oh, it's on the other side.
But yeah. So we want to thank you for taking the time for this. We want fans are definitely gonna watch. One thing I want to ask you before we go is, you compete in a stacked division, and in this day and age, it's not always just talent that wins out, that shows, and gets attention. You're a pretty reserved guy, but you let your fight and do the talking. But what do you think when you look at this age of now? You guys are owned by an entertainment company. Do you feel like you're gonna have to start, like things are gonna have to start changing?
Yeah, I mean, you got to do some of that, and I think guys have hit on it before. I think Chael's probably hit on it. A lot of guys, you got to make a decision, right? Do you want to be that guy that yells and screams and takes that route on social media and calls out guys and berates guys and criticizes at the risk of maybe losing some fans, but also gaining a lot of fans who love the entertainment side of it. So that's something I struggle with still. You know, I'm a guy that wants my fighting to do the talking, but you know, if I can string together some wins here and see where I'm at, you know, that I don't see that being too big of a deal for me.
Well, it's that you're a Southern gentleman, man. You got you were raised properly. You're a good nice guy, and I think I think if it's it is a risk, as a gamble, and I see a lot of times, like for instance, Frankie Edgar's my boy, right? Frankie, I love that dude, and he got to that point where he was getting screwed out of a title shot, so he felt like he had to talk, and it just wasn't his personality, you know. Yeah. Like Frankie's as tough as they come, so it's I think I don't think you should have to, but we'll see how crazy this gets, right? But you're saying if it does get to that point, then you got some tricks up your sleeve. I mean, because you don't go 60-4 on the UT bar circuit without having some trash talk game.
I'll talk some shit, man. It's easy for me, and especially if somebody comes at me, I'll come back at them all day. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna let people get away with it for sure. But yeah, if I need to do it, I can do it.
Sure. So he said, and he was the 60-4 reigning king, 3-year king of the UT bar circuit. So when you volunteered for that Holtzman ass whooping.
Yeah, and if you're ever down in Rooster's Bar and Grill, my picture's up on the wall with the honorary beer mug, champion 3 years running, UT bar circuit.
You heard it, UT bar circuit champion, soon to be future UFC champion. Hot sauce, always a pleasure, man. And hey, I gotta tell you, Danny Rube sucks, man. I always try to tell you that that I always try to throw shit at Dan anytime I can. But yeah, you don't have a good manager. You do.
Hey, it's hard to argue with you, but hey, he can still find his way home, so we'll let him go a little longer.
All right, FloCombat, we'll see you soon.